I wanted to do a different kind of video, a just talking video. Talking whatever comes into my mind. What did I want to talk about? So let's see. I actually wanted to talk again about the breadcrumbing, because I know that video was very sensitive and wanted to talk a little bit about that more. So when you are receiving breadcrumbs, that means that you have some wounds that you need to address. So as I said, if you've seen my video on TikTok, it is a symptom. It is not somebody doing this to you. Because remember, you have the right for anyone that is not projecting the way you want to receive a relationship. You have the right to tell someone, okay, this is not going to work. So it's a symptom. It's something that you have to conquer. And I feel like I keep looking up. So I'm looking at the thing. You have to conquer this. So if somebody is giving you breadcrumbs, and breadcrumbs, what is this? When somebody only gives you a little bit to bring you in. So they give you a little bit of attention. They may be hot, cold. What is hot, cold? So for instance, they'll spend time with you. They'll make you feel like you're amazing, that you mean something to them, and then they'll pull it back. They'll pull it back. So some people like to do this as a tactic to keep you strong on them. And I never really thought about this until I started doing my own shadow work. And then now I said, oh, that's what they did to me. That's what they were doing. Because I would wonder, why is this person so loving and then they shut down? Unless you're also dealing with an avoidant person. If you're dealing with somebody that is detached, and I'm going to be all over the place, so just, you know, this is going to go to where I'm trying to say. So if you're dealing with somebody that's avoidant, they will love this energy. They want this relationship. They want to come towards you. And then once you start getting close with this person, they'll detach. They will ghost you, or they'll even break up with you because it's too much emotion for them. Or it's just somebody that just likes to use this as a tactic. They just like to use this as a tactic. So if they're also seeing other people, they'll give you a little bit to keep you hooked in as they're entertaining someone else. So you have to just see the signs. And you can't be afraid of not calling it out, not saying, wait a minute, you were so available. And, you know, people do get busy. People do have a life. It's very understandable. But that is a wound that you have, that when you were a child, you may have been doing this with your parents. So your parents could have been distant, always working, and you had to act a certain way to win their love, their attention. So if you're afraid of somebody walking away, you'll be afraid and you'll walk on thin ice. What does that mean? Well, you'll be like, if I say something, they're going to go away from me. So you may even have an anxious attachment energy where you don't want somebody to leave you, so you don't say anything. But once you start getting secure within yourself, you're like, wait a minute, I don't like this feeling. I don't like what they're doing. And you'll say something, and you're not afraid. If they get mad, they get upset. You'll just say, you know what, this is not working for me. I want somebody that's consistent. I want somebody that wants a relationship. I want somebody that wants to, you know, see where this is going to go. And that's all you have to say. And if they're like, you know what, this is not going to work for me, I don't have time, I'm not emotionally available right now for you, then you just say, okay, thank you, well, this is not going to work for me, and you need to be okay of leaving. But sometimes when you're intimate with someone too fast, and I understand this now, when you're intimate too fast, emotions start happening, especially for feminine energies. The masculine can drop it off sometimes, where they can shut it down, you know. And there is some feminine women that are in their masculine that, you know, can shut this off very easily too, like there's no emotion. But if you're a type of person that you are emotional and you feel that feeling and you're like, wait, you know, I'm feeling like I'm having feelings for this person, then you need to tell that person right in the beginning so you don't get hurt moving forward in this dynamic. And also healing from breadcrumbing, because if you're allowing this, you're going to continue having the same dynamic with people that breadcrumb you. So I just find this very interesting because I didn't even know what this was. Now this is what people say. It's like spreading bread crumbs and you're picking them up and you're grabbing them and they're just throwing it at you. Like if you see a little pigeon and you're throwing food at it, that's basically what it is. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what a sin. You use that. If you look at yourself doing that, you will stop yourself from allowing people to breadcrumb you. If you see it that way, that you're the pigeon and you're like running after the food, then you're going to be like, wait a minute, I don't want to be like that. So it really helps you if you start doing your shadow work. And what is shadow work? Looking at what's triggering you, that you're not able to let go of people, you're not able to let people walk away if it's not working. And yes, you can have a sexual chemistry with someone, but if the respect isn't there and you guys don't see eye to eye, sometimes people feel like, oh my God, I'm never going to find a sexual connection with anyone else. That's another subject that we need to talk about. I might briefly talk about it in here. Intimacy is a learned act. So if you're feeling that, oh my God, I'll never find this connection, this intimate connection with anyone, if you become friends with someone first and you're intimate with them and you feel like it's not a connection, it's something learned, that you have to learn how your body works, what you like, what you don't like. And usually when you get about my age, because sometimes a younger population, they are very, how do I say? They get embarrassed of telling somebody what they want and what they don't. But when you get into a more mature age, is what I want to say, you're okay with telling someone, you know what, I don't like that. I don't like when you do that. I prefer if you do this, and I prefer if you do that. You're not afraid of telling somebody what you like and what you don't like. And you know your body, and you know what your body wants and what your body doesn't want. But sometimes it takes a certain time of your life when you feel comfortable with saying those things. It's the same as telling somebody, you know what, it's not going to work. And I know it took me a while. How I am now, it's like fine wine. When you age, you get finer, right? You get more experience as you evolve in life. So if you ever need someone to help you with these kind of dynamics, you really need to have someone that has faced these dynamics, that has lived these dynamics, that has gone through these trials, and they're conquering their shadows, and they know how it feels, and they know, you know, what you're going to feel. Maybe that you need to find a spiritual coach that has gone through this. Because before I went on my spiritual journey, I wasn't even wondering about any of this. I would always kind of like think to myself, why is this happening? This is weird. you know, and I wouldn't really look into it. And sometimes, honestly, I would detach from it and just let it go, and then I would start doing something in my own life, like my career goals and stuff, and then I was focused on doing my work and just shutting out people emotionally. So you could kind of say I could be detached too. You know, I've learned how to do that now. But breadcrumbing. You need to not look at the person, you need to look at what you're allowing. So if you're allowing someone, oh, and I also wanted to touch on, this makes you turn into an option. So if they're breadcrumbing you and they're leaving you on red, they're ghosting you, they're hot and cold, this gives them time to start entertaining someone else. So they'll leave you on red for a while, sometimes a week, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes a couple of days, and they're entertaining someone else. So they're pushing you to the side because they see that you don't respect your own value. So, and they'll go to someone sometimes that does respect their values. So that should be a trigger to you, like, wait a minute, I need to change this. And I know it could be hard, and it can be very hurtful. It needs to be an awakening with your shadows. Okay, wait, why am I allowing this? What happened in my past that I'm allowing this to be happening in my life? Because it doesn't feel good when somebody puts you as an option, but you need to see why were you put as an option. What traits were you portraying to this person that was allowing them to act on it? Because everybody will test your boundaries if you let them. But if you're secure and you're like, right when you see it, you call it out and you say, this isn't working for me, and you say, I don't, this relationship isn't going to work, and you move on to the next person, then you don't get hurt. But if you're holding on because you have a wound that every time something like this happens, it triggers and it opens up a wound. It's like a cut that hasn't been healed. And every time somebody does it, then you're wondering, why do I keep attracting these kind of people? Because you haven't healed yourself. And I know a lot of people don't like to conquer their shadows. But believe me, when you do conquer your shadows, when you cry, you journal, you meditate, you talk about it, you listen to podcasts with other people living the same situation, you're going to go, oh, I am not the only one that went through this situation. Because I'm going to be honest, sometimes I didn't know what was going on. I was like, wait a minute, they were so loving, and then also this person turned into a different person. Like I had a disease or something and they didn't want to talk with me. And then they would calm down and then they would return and be like, nothing ever happened. And I would be so confused, like, what is going on? You know, because it makes you start thinking about yourself. Wait, well, what am I doing that causes this person to keep doing it? And it's nothing about you. It's about the symptom. So look at it that way. Okay, this isn't about me. This is a symptom that I need to eliminate from my mental surroundings. And when you look at it that way, it's easier for you to conquer. And again, if you need help doing this, I do have a lot of lectures that I've made, seminars, and I also do one-on-one coachings, which you can do a half an hour, you can do an hour, or you can do a 2-week session with me. And the link is in the bio, which it says more. And my website is LunaPriestess.com, and we can do, spiritual healing. So let me know, and I hope this information was very helpful for you, and I will see you in the next Healing with Luna. Bye-bye.